I'm Todd Fedoruk.
I'm Bill Duffy.
You're watching Nasty Knuckles.
And you're watching Nasty Knuckles.
You're listening to Nasty Knuckles, the Hockey Outlaws podcast, with your hosts, Derek Nasty Sotomayor and former Philadelphia Flyer enforcer Riley Cote, as they go behind the scenes with your favorite NHL players. Time to face off.
All right, welcome back. What's happening, Nasty?
What's up, Rigoralia?
Love the sweatshirt.
Oh, not a big deal. Just
Getting primed up for
Friday.
Friday.
You don't have one?
No.
I like yours
Thanks
too.
for looking out.
Yeah, I feel bad. I asked Duff Daddy to bring me one. We'll talk about the gala in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Warriors Gala on the spaceship.
New Jersey.
Battleship, New Jersey. On the Battleship, New Jersey. Can't wait for Friday night.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
wait to see you trim that beard up.
Coming
Maybe
in
take
hot.
the locks down a little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking get you. Yeah.
Let the locks rock last year. I'm going to tighten her up this year.
I think you got to tighten that beard up. We talked about this earlier.
Think so? A couple stragglers?
Just
You don't like the gray? No?
Not a big fan of it.
You got a little.
Hey, listen. Let's just stop talking about the Gracies.
Great.
I know.
Those are
I'm old, though. He's not old.
Those are
I'm
frosty
old.
tips. Those are still,
Yeah, these are frosty
those are still
tips.
lingering.
Baller. I wanted the frosty tips going. Anyway, fuck both of you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen. Weekend. How was it?
Pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
Yep. How about you?
You didn't want to dissect it, I see.
It was a strong weekend. That's all I got to say with
I
that.
had a good weekend. We
Forgot what I was actually
we were
doing,
up in
but-
Long Island there. Elvis' team had a couple games. Didn't do as well as we wanted. Lost and tied. But you learn.
happens.
You got to learn. You just learn from it. Had a good week of practice. Got a couple games this weekend. The PHC 2014s. Elvis's team. So,
No losses, Nas, just lessons.
well, yeah, there was a bad loss. We were up 4-0 and lost 5-4.
Well, what did you learn?
I don't want to say.
No?
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
No, just, they're kids. They're
Yeah.
learning and
Of course.
start snowballing on us real quick.
Yeah.
We've seen
Hit
it
the
at every level,
hit
right?
the panic button.
Yeah, I don't know if we hit a button at all except
No?
for here. Just
saw
go.
The
Fucking put it in
wheels just
net.
started falling off the
It
carriage.
kind of fell off, but
Yeah.
the kids will bounce
It
back this
happens.
weekend. It does happen. It was still
Distractions.
fun. Yeah, distractions. Lots of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Men's league, we won again.
Well, on your way to playoffs, then.
Yeah, we are. I noticed how you said your way on your way.
Well, I'm not eligible now.
Well, no,
apparently.
thanks a lot. We really appreciate your
You don't need-
dedication
you
to
don't
the
need me.
team.
Clearly got enough offensive
Buddy,
scoring
we
power.
had me and Fox. So Foxy, I think this is the first time ever. I don't think Foxy got one shot on that. I don't even know if he took a shot. That's how.
Oh, really? Wasn't ripping him wide
could
or
not.
over the net?
Our line didn't score a goal. It was all. It
You guys
was.
are off.
It was Matty, Eric, and Rocker. Their line, I think, produced all 4 goals. I think it was 4-3 games. Good game played against Jared, Big J.
Oh, yeah, all right. Same squad there.
But he comes down. He plays D, right? And he's got that clapper. As soon as he goes to shoot, everybody gets out of the way.
Oh, of course.
Of course. I definitely get out of the way. But he scored a really nice goal where he did the old tomahawk with his skates. You're not moving that guy. I don't know. You know how big he is. And then a sick backhand, like top cheese.
T-stride back cheese?
Oh,
backhand
yeah.
cheese?
It was pretty sick, yeah.
Don't see that very often.
Great guy. That was funny. I said, you still doing the memorabilia stuff? He goes, no, Nast, I haven't done that in 2 years. I'm like,
2 years.
I'm like, you don't write, you
6
don't
years?
call. Well, because he had started doing that once he left AC, and
Right.
then now he's actually a union carpenter in Philly, which is awesome. But great guy, man. Good game, though.
Surprised they allowed the big slap shots like that. Men's league. Like, who wants to have
That's
one of
a
those
heavy one,
ricochet
too.
off someone's stick and land that in your face? Like, who
Well, I
wants
think
that?
that's why you get out of the way.
Well, yeah.
Well,
is it necessary?
Foxy's hit me.
Do we
Foxy's
need?
isn't that hard, but it's pretty damn hard. He's hit me in the back of the leg twice. I still got a bruise from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is crazy, but
Full wind up slappers
full
in men's league.
windies. Full windies. talk a little bit about the Flyers. I know we're going to kind of talk about it with one of our guests today, Todd Fedoruk, but real quick, not a bad weekend for Florida, and then actually win at home against San Jose. Almost blew it, but that shit happens. I mean, it happens to everyone. But Michkov getting scratched. I know we're going to get more into it, but your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked. I think this is part of the development process. There's a standard of play that is expected, especially the Flyers and the way they need to play to win games, and clearly offensively talented, dynamic, all that good stuff on the offensive side of things. I think it's just about buttoning up a few things on the back end, defensive zone coverage, defense in general, playing away from the puck. I had no problem with it. I thought it was just gonna be one game. In the second game, I was like, okay, extend the message. Obviously, they'd won, so probably go with the same lineup there. But he responded, obviously.
Yeah.
A couple points during regulation, and then in the shootout there. But it's just part of it, right? I mean, I think you shake things up, you send the message, you have a little powwow with the player, and you just hopefully he responds. I think he did. I'd like to think that he learned his lesson, and I hope it doesn't happen again. We want to see him on the ice.
I don't want to see him in the
he's dynamic.
stands anymore.
You can't make a habit of it.
Torts has his ways, and I respect him because he's one of the best American coaches ever. But I don't always know. I saw Mike Rupp talking about this last week, and I'm not sure Torts' ways are universal for everyone. I think I will get more into it when Fridge joins us, but I just feel like he's a pretty special player, and it worked. I'm not questioning what the man did. He's the head coach. He does what he wants, and that's his job. There's a lot of pressure on you. You're making that decision for a reason. Not questioning that. I just feel like he's a different player than most young guys. Well, first of all, he's 19. Sure. I get that. I think our buddy Colby Cohen, I watch him a lot and talk to him a lot, and he felt like maybe little load management there, because a lot of teams will say that. Torts just said healthy scratch, which is that's Torts. But I don't know if a 19-year-old's tired. Maybe he is. He played a lot of hockey. That was Colby's kind of one of his points was, he played almost all the preseason games. It's been a lot for him. Maybe he did need a break. I don't know, but I feel like he's a game breaker too. Even though he's such a young guy, he could score a big goal at any time. But it worked out. So,
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure if he was necessarily fatigued or tired, right? I mean, this guy's in the best shape of his life, and he's I say the prime. He's at the beginning of the prime of his career, right? I mean, I'm not sure if it's a fatigue thing, but I mean, the reality is you got to keep that pace of play up every single night, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's challenging to do. 82 games, and I know we're still early in the season, but you have a game or two where you drop off, and the job of John Tortorella and the organization is to keep guys, at the top of their game, right? And if they drop off, no matter who they are, it's a little easier with young guys. You got to send the message to, because you're still, I hate to say it, in somewhat a quasi development mode with this guy, right? It's a little bit of a longer term picture than just, these games right here, right now. So, I just think it's just kind of part of that process when you have young guys. Could you have taken other guys out? Yes. But I mean, I'd like to think that it seems like Michkov's coachable. You spend a game or two upstairs, watch it from a different perspective, hopefully having the right attitude, which it sounds like he did. It sure seems like he did.
Look like it.
Yeah.
Look like it. Yeah.
And then if he does what he's supposed to do and buttons up a couple of those areas, I don't see that ever happening again, because it's really hard to justify taking out a guy that he's almost a point a game, right? I mean, what has he got? 12 points in 14 games, or whatever the hell he has got now. But so I mean, they need to score goals, but they need to play a certain way, and just a little message sending. This is not a new phenomena that coaches do. It's just part of it. I think it was inevitable. I think we were just kind of waiting for this moment. I hate to say it, but the fans want to see him. We want to see him. The Flyers need him in the lineup to win games.
Yeah,
they do. But I think just a simple little, blimp in the development process, and hopefully he learns from it. Beyond just one game, and he can just keep moving forward.
for sure.
What else you got, Nast?
Well, I was going to say, I was watching Toronto last night, and, and you talk about coaches. Hang on, let me turn my page.
Oh, yeah.
That's baller.
You got a picture of Chief there? Or?
Yeah, no. So I watched a lot of Toronto, obviously, because of our good buddy Chief, and Stoley's playing so well, 6-3-2. He's got a .930 save percentage. Like, the guy's, he's actually starting. I've heard some people talk about him maybe being one of the goalies on the U.S. team. I don't know if that'll happen, but he had a great year last year, obviously backing up Bob, but now he's kind of taking the ball here in Toronto. They lost last night. They didn't look great, but I kind of got a chuckle because they showed Chief, on the bench, and he's wake the F up, like to the big boys, to Nylander. But I'm watching it, and it's got to drive me nuts. You coached. Obviously Nylander's an unbelievable player. He's got 11 goals, 7 assists in 17 games. So he's a point a game, but man, does he have it on cruise control sometimes. Like he turned a puck over the one time. They were showing the highlights too, like of just how nonchalant he was about the game. Not only does he turn it over, no stop and turn around, go, it's a huge circle. Like to get back, and I mean it just. And that's why Chief, I think that was the one play where he, you could see him. They showed him on the bench just giving it to him. But, man, that's got to drive you nuts as a coach. Yeah.
Well, I think anytime you see a player appear to not care, and not to have that extra, fight. Turning the puck over is one thing. How do you react to it is another. Once you just show you don't care and there's no extra effort to make up for that mistake, that turnover, that is beyond frustrating to see. And then just the body language around it, because if you watch these highly skilled players, some of them, not all of them, the way they skate, they're so composed and so relaxed. It almost seems like they might not care sometimes because they're so composed, right? They're so relaxed, and that is certainly a gift. But when it doesn't go right and there's a mistake and there's a turnover, and then you see that, it really does drive you because it's not about the mistake. It's about how you respond to it. And I think that just it'll turn any coach off and have them snap and blow up and whatever else goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Well, it's funny. I remember, I think I told you, I don't know if we were talking about it on the show a few weeks ago, but when Let's and I went up and I was scouting, right. But Chief comes out and goes, "Oh, boys, I said this Nylander, you gonna try tonight?" And Nylander's laughing about it, but he needs to try. This guy's so good. I said to Elvie, I was I'm like, this is unbelievable. He's like, Dad, he's so sick. I went, yeah, he's so sick, but he's got to play the right way. It doesn't matter. You can't. I was trying to explain to Elvis about just that huge loop to get back. Not even trying. It doesn't
look good.
Not even trying. It doesn't look good. Listen, I'm not shitting on the guy's an unbelievable talent.
Oh yeah, right.
He's sick, but
imagine if you actually just added 1% more care, 2%. Look at the best players in the world. I mean, I still go to Crosby and some of these older school guys, because they care so much.
Yes,
you'd never see something like that from Crosby. He makes mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
But there's such a care there and there's such pride there that that would never happen. You would never have to have that conversation with the guy.
I almost messaged Rosie last night, Jay Rosie, our buddy, just to see what he thought, because I bet she was flipping out.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, there was one other thing I had to bring up. One of the refs last night, are you yawning?
No.
Okay. I don't know, Baller. I hope you got that.
A little power grab.
That was a huge deep breath, boys.
A little prana.
Justin Key. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Justin Key, referee at National Hockey League. He's pretty young. He was actually drafted in the third round in NHL, 73rd overall. But his jersey number, they said last night on the telecast, he's wearing 44, which is a great number.
Of course.
But he's actually number 36, but the league hasn't got him his jersey yet. Are you kidding me? How does this guy not have his jersey yet? And I know this is the dumbest thing they even talk about, but I was blown away. That's what I think Mike Johnson said. Can you go to, what is Foot Locker?
That's what I mean.
How do you not have it?
With the amount of technology and delivery services.
We're a month and a half into the season, this guy doesn't have his jersey? What is that? Could he not just put his number on the jersey he's wearing? I can make it for. I'll make it for you. We should reach out to Justin. I want to get him
tag him on his social media. Send him a jersey.
I'll tag him if he even has it. He's a ref. I don't know if
It's
has one.
on Nasty Knuckles.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we'll
I mean,
suck
it was
up
like
shipping and the.
they were making fun of it too. Like it's insane. Like how does a guy not have?
It's actually embarrassing.
It kind of is. And
You would get jerseys made and name bars made like in hours.
I could if I had. There were so many times where I had to cut old nameplates up to make a nameplate.
I
You
know.
can't even tell from the stands, but it's a circle on the ref's jersey and a number.
How hard is that?
I could make it myself.
Yeah.
I'll make it for you, brother. If you still don't have it by next
Fire
week.
it up in the basement. There.
One thing I wanted to talk about too, Riggs, was the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know if you saw any of that game against Dallas. You talk about
The Stanley Cup bound.
oh. Right, no, they are not. Unless they go down the hallway.
What's Doobie doing upstairs there?
Dude, what is Doobie doing? Like, this team, they were down 6-0 in the first period. Yeah. That's hard to do, man.
It really is.
That's hard to do. And like, you were just talking about guys like Sidney Crosby. He had to be beside himself.
Oh, God.
I mean, 6-0 in the first period, and it just looked like a lifeless group. Like, I could not, but what I saw was like 3-0. Like, it was going back and forth. I'm like, it's 6-0. I'm like, I can't believe this, but, you know, I don't know if Sullivan's on the hot seat here. He's getting ready to coach Team USA, but he's 10 seasons there. He's made a playoff 8 out of 10. I think the last 2 ballers is the only time they haven't made it since he's been there, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
a pretty amazing run.
I cannot say you can blame him. I know, like, coaches don't usually last in a certain place 10 years.
There?
Second year.
Yeah.
But he's the president, named himself GM. Where are you going with this? Like, I was looking at, like, Erik Karlsson is like making, I think, 9.9 for this year and then 2 more. Like, you talk about no deep. Like, you guys unbelievably offensively and like, for that, he's great. But Chris Letang has 3 more years after this year. What's he, 6.1 baller, I think? He's somewhere around there. We can double check that. Barlow will know, but like rebuilt, like you have to do something, man. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't make it last year. I don't even think they made it the year before, right, Baller? They're not going to make the playoffs this year.
No,
there's no way.
No,
and I'm not shitting on anyone, but like, oh my God, man, like you got to make some moves here. You're not going to be able to trade those guys unless you like keep half their salary.
Yeah, they're not going to be easy to move.
Who's going to take, like, honestly, who's going to take Erik Karlsson? And I was actually shocked the Penguins even traded for him with all that money.
Yeah.
And obviously he had an unbelievable year in San Jose before he was traded.
Yeah. Well, he's sexy offensively, right? But
Very sexy offensively.
But it's just like the holes are exposed, especially when the team around him isn't as rock solid as it could be.
No offense to, like, Beauvillier, like, but after Sid and Malkin, unless I'm missing someone, I'm just kind of shocked. Like, what direction is Kyle Dubas going, like, with his team, if he's even there, like, much longer?
Yeah.
Did you see the report that came out of Pittsburgh yesterday saying everyone's on the table besides Sid?
Yeah, I saw that.
Are they going to trade Gino and Letang?
Well, I think you could trade Gino. You don't think so?
He started hot. He's been struggling a bit.
Has he? Maybe it's just a scenery thing. Not for him. It's a guy like him. Maybe if he gets on a really, I mean, like, let's be honest, if you get him on a really good team, like with a couple skilled lines, like, he's probably not going to hurt you, right? I know he doesn't move the way he used to and everything, but I don't know, Baller. It's a great point, but I just don't know how you're going to trade Erik Karlsson. You're going to have him for, like I said, another 2 years after this year.
I don't know what you do. I don't know what you could do right now to make a difference.
I guess if they kept salary and there's a really good team and they need for a power play boost, it's like we said a few weeks ago, you'll sell your soul for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Like if you make that move and you get him and you do win,
yeah,
it's where I guess it's worth it to pay him the next 2 years, whatever that may be. But anyway, I just thought it was really interesting because they're just not getting any better.
No.
And I feel like he's
getting worse.
Yeah, they're getting
Yeah, I mean,
and it sucks to see because, like you were just talking about Crosby a few minutes ago, like
such a pro, it's got to be so tough to be on in a situation like that. But
and not to mention Tristan Jarry, he's only played 2 games. He's 1-1. I think his goals against was like 5.47. Now he did get sent down for a what do you call it, Ball?
Conditioning stint?
He was just sent down for a conditioning stint where he went 4-0-1.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's maybe Scranton plays a better defensive system, but Jari's obviously a really good goalie. He's their number one goalie, but maybe he comes back and he can help out a little bit. I'm not sure, but 6-0 in the first period, that's tough.
That's tough. Yeah.
Letang has 3 years left after this season. Cap hit is 6.1.
Yeah.
Signed till he's 41 years old, and he's got a no-move clause. So he'd have to accept.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they said we're going to trade you to Colorado, he'd be like,
exactly,
okay, anywhere that's got a shot, right? Like they all want to win again.
Yep.
I don't want to talk too much about the Pens, but I just thought that was interesting that's going on. NHL Hall of Fame weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Last weekend, our boy Jeremy Roenick inducted JR. Congratulations, man. It was so cool watching his great little speech about how he got drafted and why he thought he got drafted with Keenan and the porta potty. Yeah, some dude had been like, oh, the water's cold. That's what he always I'm like, Dad, shut up, man. There's other people in here. They don't know you. But Jeremy Roenick, Shea Weber, Pavel Datsyuk, some of the bigger names. I thought it was really cool. Lanny McDonald did a little tribute for Matty and Johnny Gaudreau. I thought that was super cool. Still breaks my heart when it gets brought up, but probably always will. But pretty cool thing there for JR and everyone that was inducted.
Yeah, and JR brought his old little intermission skate dance onto the ice there. Doing what he does best is entertain the fans. He's obviously he's a character and a very energetic spirit, if you will.
Yes.
And he's great for the game, right?
He's
been great for the game since he's been in the league. Played the game the right way, right attitude.
He sure did.
And he continues to do so, in his media career and just wherever he goes. I mean, he's JR.
He's JR. He is.
All right, Nas, you know what time it is?
It's that time.
Yeah, 179. My good friend, the fridge, Todd Fedoruk. Let's go. Welcome back. I'm Riley Cote.
And I'm Derek Suttlemeyer. And this week, Riggs, we got our good friend of the show and good friend of ours, former 7th-round draft pick, 1997. I remember those blonde locks just flowing.
Frosty
when
tips.
He came to, they weren't frosty. They were all blonde, baby. 545 games in the National Hockey League. 1,050 PIMs. Chucked the knocks a little bit, this guy.
Some hard-earned PIMs,
Threw in 32 Gs and 65 assists along the way also. But let's please welcome current color analyst for the Philadelphia Flyers on the radio with Tim Saunders.
Yeah.
Todd Fedoruk, the fridge. What's up, bro?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me back. We've been here for an hour talking already.
I was going to say, we could have started rolling a little bit ago.
Garage.
I do want to say quickly, what a great surprise for all three of us. Good friend called right before we got started. Just wanted to shout out to Bugsy. Ryan Malone.
Yeah, right.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Got super excited when he heard Fridgie talking, but what a dude.
He is
Love
a great
that
dude.
One of my favorite guys I ever got to work with.
He's
Bugsy.
a positive human.
Yep.
He's overcome some demons and doing great work.
Yeah, he is. He is. We just seen him in Tampa. He was down there. I think it was Tampa. Pretty sure he was down there doing some stuff with the veteran community.
Yeah, that's
They're doing
his
some stuff down
foundation
there.
The Malone Foundation is all about the Warrior Academy stuff he's doing. So
yeah, one of the happiest players I ever got the chance to play with. I played with him in Tampa.
Fun.
He's big smiling all the time.
Always, right?
Yeah, good
Always.
player too. Good power forward, tough.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bugsy's a good guy.
Love that guy.
All right, we're done plugging Bugsy.
All right, Bugsy. You are the man, though. Love Bugsy. Where do we start, Fridge? Let's talk about the Flyers here. Obviously, that's why we got you in here. You're at every game, calling the games. I guess we'll start with the record of 6-8-2. Pretty slow start, but kind of picked it up as of late. What have you noticed with the team? And I will say this: one of the things that glaring to me is their minus 14 in goals differential, which. Obviously, it's hard to win games that are not scoring goals. Now they've won they've had a good little run here lately, but they've been 2-1, 1, really low scoring games. But what are you seeing?
Well, that's what the game is going to be for the Flyers. I think they're they've recaptured some of the structure from last year, and that is that 5-man unit they were harping on. They played some good teams on the road recently, going through Florida, getting some points on that road trip, which. I think they play better against the good teams. Remember, they're a young group, too. Like, it's a really young team. I forget that as well, but I think some of that structure the coaching and the systems and the line combinations. I think there was solidity there. Some things kind of started to happen. Some of the guys started to play a little bit better, like Emil Andrae. He comes in and he's fitting in nicely.
He's looking good.
Emil, really good. Goes down. He did everything right. He come in. He showed what he did last year. They sent him down. Right. He spent some time up, but you could see that there was some things he needed to learn. He went down there, got stronger, bigger over the summer. You got to give props to Lappy, Gator, and the guys down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's certain things. The NHL game is like, that's one thing I've noticed in the last 2 years watching it. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are when you get in here. Everybody else is that good too. And there's a certain way you need to play that's going to make you great, right? For those good players that are first-round draft picks, top 5, you got to learn to play a certain way in the NHL, defensively structured, and that's how everything's development-wise, right? So, and I've noticed that, and when you play that way, and that's high caliber. I'm saying all the systems, the thought processes, the speed at which they play, the speed at which they practice at, you got to learn to play that. You got to learn a lot, and that's what you see with a guy like Michkov. Obviously, we'll probably talk about him later, but that's what I've seen is that even though they did well last year implementing that structure, it's almost like you forget it, right? We got to remember that it's a 5-man unit. It's tight in the middle. It's blocking shots, and all those things kind of came back. If they play that way, you're not going to score a lot of goals. It's a little bit muck and grind. Wait for our opportunities offensively. And that's how they have to play. It's going to be a tough year playing ugly, gritty hockey. I don't want to.
It's like 82 road games. You play that road game to win. We talked about that before.
And if they play that way, it's fun to watch. Because it is grindy, it is mucky. They got little hard areas to score. They play their best against the best teams for some reason. But look at the record last year; they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So
right.
We got it's. I think the excitement is around watching players like Michkov.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Konechny too.
Konechny, he's on
TK,
fire. Yeah,
man, this guy.
He could have had 5 goals against San Jose.
Yeah,
Literally,
poor
guy was like me out there, empty net, hitting the goal back, shooting it back into the goalie. But what a game! He was all over it, just sniffing all night.
Involved,
and he literally could have had 4 or 5 goals the other night.
Yeah.
But he did get one big goal there in the power. I think it was a power play goal from Michkov.
Yeah, I get the chance to see these guys. I'm blessed, a little bit on the road and how they are socially with each other. And TK's a guy he's right there with the group.
Yeah. Right, you can see that.
And he's a good guy. Guys look up to him, and he's quieter though.
Yeah,
but
he's respected.
He's respected,
got that
and
fight.
he just does things the right way.
Yeah,
Sanheim as well. Those leaders, they're becoming leaders, man. There's some charisma.
Yeah,
Coots as well. So Farabee, those guys I think are really turning the tides for the team here with the young guys. Anyways, of late.
Yeah, we agree. It seems like they've kind of found that energy they brought last year, the tightness. The way they play defensively. Like last game where they have 38 shots or something like that. It was the most that they had in how many games there. They're struggling to generate offense. How do you see maybe that tight defensive structure converting to offense, because it's not easy. You don't have outside of Michkov and Konechny, or maybe Owen Tippett, that really high end offensive power.
You got to stay loose with those guys to create any offense. But I think if you want to win games, you got to be a stickler. You got to be patient. You got to get your offense from the guy getting a block shot off of the shin pad and 2 guys ready to jump on it. Right. Opportunistic. The thing is, they can generate off the rush.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go back to Emil Andrae. He's hitting that first pass.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys, Konechny, Michkov, he was hit with the first pass the other day. These guys, the ones that are looking for it, if you got a D-man that's looking for it, that's a good way to generate offense.
Yeah.
So that's starting to happen a little bit. But the risks that they're taking, I don't think the way that they need to play, they got to mitigate the risk taken. Be strong defensively and generate everything offensively off that. And then the power play. They inserted Michkov on that power play, and he produces.
Oh, yeah.
He does.
Points just come easy for some guys, They come easy for him, Obviously, he's one of the most skilled players to come through the organization, I think, in a long time.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's a pesky little SOB too, you know. A little
You got
pushback.
EJ into a little tilly the other night.
Yeah, right.
Fridge, I had EJ with USA when he was 8. Well, the year he was drafted number 1.
Yeah.
He came. I think we were in. God, what year was that? He was either Latvia or the year in Russia. I can't remember, but he was. I think it was Russia, and. Man, he's come a long way. What a career EJ's had, and he's got to be huge in that room as well, just from everything he's seen and gone through. But it's funny, Michkov, like he never backs down. You don't really want that kid fighting. Obviously, who knows if he's ever been in a fight in his life? You don't want him fighting. But EJ stepped up the other night, and that's huge. And I was going to say, Fridge, maybe talk to EJ about maybe not grabbing right here on a guy with that length. Maybe try to tie that arm up. But he jumped in there for a teammate, and I thought it was great. And then Seals ended up having a really good tussle there with who was that? Gaudreau baller. He fought Gaudreau. Yeah, that was a good tilt too.
Yeah, that's an element of Flyers hockey too. Guys get in there, and I think EJ's been around long enough. Look, if you've been around long as EJ, you understand that that's kind of that's something you should take as a sense of honor to play with the Flyers and come in.
Right.
Like there's something in our history that's associated with fighting, sticking up for your teammates. So he's been around long enough, and he's a critical piece. Like. They're calling him the 7th D man, but the experience these guys coming up on 1,000 games. I think he's 999, 998.
Yeah, so right there.
He's close, but he knows what to do, and that speaks volume for a guy like Michkov. Michkov's not going to back down. We don't expect him to fight. Don't at all.
Please
don't back down. He don't give. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't give two. I like that about Michkov. But Eric Johnson knows you ain't going to mess with this kid. So that's going to go a long way for a kid, 19 years old, to have an old guy like that. Understands what he's doing. He did good, too.
Yeah.
You know, right after a goal, after they did that, I was like, we got to go for the Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I know. That's what Elvis was saying. My son was saying that. He's got to get an assist.
Classic.
He's got to get an assist.
And he's going to be, like, he comes in and he's coming in and out of the lineup as an older guy. He's taking a little hit there, but he's being a really good teammate because he's helping coach.
Right.
He's helping the youth. Like we got a young young D-core.
Right.
Yeah.
Sanheim is tremendous at what he's done in the last 2 years, how much his game's developed, and the other guys that can watch an offensive juggernaut like that, he can get up the ice good.
Yeah.
And plays good defensively.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts on Michkov being scratched for a couple of games?
Well, as a player, I think that at that age, I remember he's 19.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you forget that too. And I mean, Tortorella is reminding us of that too. And as I'm watching, I'm like, I remember you do learn things, right? There is things you can learn by watching in the stands. But for a player like Michkov, do you pull him out of the lineup? Yeah, I think you only have a small window in order to do that, to teach that one lesson, right?
Yeah.
Look how much time there is. There's not that much. Here's where it is. Here's where the open ice is. That's what you get. You get from that perspective. Yeah. When I went to 2 games, I was like, whoa, maybe something else went on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
but then it's just, then you chalk it up. You go through everything. Like I wanted to see him play. He's exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
I love watching him play. He does need to learn some things from the defensive side of the puck for 2 reasons. One, because Tortorella is going to hold him to account, but you got to just to develop as an NHL player as well.
Of course.
And he's not going to go down to the minors. Like, you're not going to send a guy down there to learn things. You pull him out, let him watch, and then get back in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What are you, 2 points in the shootout?
And then and the shootout goal.
Yeah, he's going to get points. He's going to get points. You can't pull those points out of the lineup, but you got to take the chances when you can for his development.
Yeah.
And that's in the coach's hands. Obviously, the fans want to watch him play every single night. I do, because it's exciting.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's exciting to watch him play.
He's exciting, and I can't disagree. Riley and I were talking about this earlier. I can't disagree with what you're saying, but the other side of me is like, he's a pretty talented player. We haven't had someone come through here like that. It worked out well. You get 3 out of 4 points. You win in Tampa. Great game. Fedotov had his best game as a Flyer. He looked pretty solid. Looked more compact. It wasn't moving too much. Not that I'm a goalie coach, but I just thought he looked a lot better in that game. But to me, him getting to play against Kucherov, even challenging him and saying, "Hey, I want you playing against him tonight," you give me can you do this? Like, challenge him. I think him playing against Tampa and Florida, those type teams, I think that helps him a lot. I understand the other side of it, and Torch is a coach. He's going to do what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. It obviously works out. It worked out the best way. He comes back. You win the next game. Matvei gets his 2 points and a big shootout goal. Worked out well. I just think a kid this special, I don't know.
He wants to play.
That's just my opinion. He wants, I mean, I was kind of, I know he paid attention, but it was funny. Every time they did show him, he was on his phone. And I'm like, if Torch sees this, he's going to fucking lose it.
Checking the feed.
But you can't argue. I'm not arguing with Torch about it because it's his call, and it seemed to work out the best way. So hopefully you don't have to do that again, because people do pay money to see this kid now, you know, and they do want to see him in the lineup. And who knows, maybe in Florida, when they did get a power play, maybe they score a goal and they win the game 2-1 with him in there. But that's, you know, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So, you know.
Is that a classic Don Cherry?
Yeah, I might be on a Don Cherry. Frizzy, I know he loved you.
That's a classic.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But anyway.
Well, just on that, though, like, I think there's several ways to challenge a player,
coach,
right?
man.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like there's several ways to challenge a player. I think the safe play as a coach is to pull him out of the lineup, because the optics of it. Everyone sees it. The media talks about it, and especially if it goes well for your team, you win. You get 3 out of 4 points,
3 out of 4.
and then Michkov comes back and gets 2 points in the game, and then the shootout. Yep. Like, it looks good. The optics look good. If you challenge him publicly and say, you know, we're going to put him against Kucherov, and it doesn't work out well.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe don't challenge him publicly.
Maybe quietly. So but maybe those things have already happened. Maybe it's like, you know what I mean? We're you know, we need more out of you, and you know, blah blah blah. You know how those conversations go. I think it's safe to pull a guy out of the lineup, a young guy out of the lineup. I agree. Once I saw the second game, I was like, ooh. And if it goes any further than that, you know, not that it's going to go wrong, but you know, if you could, you know, you just lose that little street credit, you know, because he is dynamic. There's no question he can create out of all the guys. Like, he can create something out of nothing. Can he learn a few things up there? Yeah. But I think, like, he's going to learn the most on the ice. Let's be serious, in those challenging situations. I mean, to me, if you want to challenge a good player, you know, really put him in, you know, in challenging situations. He's going to develop. He's going to learn. Just maybe not as fast as you'd like sometimes, but
I
you
think
can go
there
both
was
ways
probably
on that.
Just watching the first 10 series of games here, you can tell there was some elements of coaching being started to happen with him, right? Because just defensive structure, there's things that he would implement, and I'm talking about all the whole coaching staff, defensively, top to bottom, with each player, right? With Morgan Frost last year, there's certain things they wanted you to play a certain way. Those things that he's doing, Michkov on the ice, mainly defensive.
Yeah, right.
Area, positional hockey, where to support, all those things, right? There's some coaching happening. If that's not sinking in, or that's not applying, they have to make some changes. And I think there's so much you don't know, right, of the dynamics that's going on in development with the coaching and stuff, and the risks. Like, these are risky moves. Like, you could lose the guy.
Right. Well,
know?
exactly.
At 19 years old, that's the risk you're taking as the coach. So, and you're gonna get some heat. You're going to get some heat. The fans in Philly, they want to see this guy playing.
Of course,
But you could tell that there was some coaching going on. And then there was a series of games before they pulled him out where it was like there was a real looseness in what he was doing and the decisions that he was making, that it made sense to me as a former guy. Like, oh, they got to reel this in. What you don't want happening in this case is your teammates, the players, having to inject themselves to be like, yo, you got to be here. You don't want them coaching each other, right? And I think that's a fine line that the coach has to watch and be like, all right, the kid needs to be told. Otherwise, the players are going to get angry at him because they all did what I told them to do. Yeah, it's just kind of that element comes into play too, I think. So, and that started happening. And again, the last game, I noticed better side of the puck. So that stuff's sinking in. He's getting it. Obviously, a guy that's that good is going to know how to play this game. But I really like how Michkov just is always wanting to generate offense.
Always.
Always. The way he moves on the power play. Inserted him on the power play. Like, there's other skilled guys there. This is why I was talking about Konechny too. Konechny's kind of been the guy here for years, right? Still is, I think, because he's a leader.
For sure.
He's going to put up numbers. He's adjusting. He has a skilled game too where he takes high risk. He's adjusting to Michkov. I think that he sees Michkov is like, I can work with this kid because they have similar games, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they don't mix well together, but DK's starting to move to areas now. They're starting to work together. There's chemistry there.
Matvei sees the ice like a point guard. I always use basketball as an analogy, but I think he knows that he sees it. If you see the other night in the power play goal, TK actually points over. He wants to get him the puck.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that puck gets there, he's already taken a little slide back to get that little open area. Boom, it's in the net.
Perfect, yeah.
I mean,
they want to work with each other.
Play like that. Right.
A play like that is, I mean, obviously you see it a lot at that level, National Hockey League. But
they pulled it off 3 times this year. So.
It's happened.
It's hard to defend.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean.
And you know, Matvei has 12 points in 14 games. Not bad for a 19-year-old kid in the National Hockey League.
Yeah,
you know?
he's leading the charge of rookies right now, I think.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too. If there's a player, think of that. Like, he's like, you got to think. And I don't know if he's even knowing this, but those races for points as a rookie and stuff, like taking him out, that's an opportunity to be in that race. Now, that's a personal thing, but I know he's probably not focused on that.
Well, I would love to see him win.
Man, if you're in that race and you know you could lead all rookies in the NHL.
Yeah.
Well, I'd want to go do it, kid.
Anybody would. I don't even know if it's selfish. It's just, why wouldn't you?
I want to be on the team with that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be on the team with that guy.
Yeah. Well, you like to think all this sets him up long term, right? If it's all about development, you like to think that this translates, right?
Well,
he
when did we
digests
have
it,
a player?
and then long term, he's a little bit more solid in all these areas. They never take him out again, and hopefully he can lead, and finish that scoring race, the rookies, and do what he wants to accomplish individually and as a collective. But I like to think this is probably the last time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Message received, and let's go.
And like you said, it worked out. 3 out of 4 points, pretty good on that road trip. Actually, probably deserved better in Carolina.
Right.
Wasn't a horrible game.
Well, what's your take? What do you say? Like, if just watching him, if you've watched him enough, where would he need development? Like, where is it?
Well, you said it. It really is. You talked about the structure of the Flyers, and if they're going to win games, they have to play this 5-man unit and keep it tight. And if you have one guy that's a little bit loose and maybe cheating a little bit too offensively, it kind of breaks down that team philosophy. So I think it's just like buttoning up a few of those things. He'll get his offensive chances. He'll block some shots. He'll get a stick on puck. He's creative. He can make something of nothing. I think that's it. Maybe getting back a little, just tightening up, really.
Yeah.
It's not the offense. I mean, clearly. this guy is like...
Some guys
he's just a wizard.
Points.
He's just a wizard. I mean,
the puck truly does follow players around. Like some guys. No, I wasn't one of those guys.
No, I repelled it.
Yes.
I couldn't get rid of it.
It's like a magnet. Yeah, you put
the anxiety and the stress. Get rid of it. Just go put on a forecheck. But I think it's that. It's just like, I think, playing in the larger ice surface, there's, I don't know if it's like staying a little bit looser inside the dots when you're in the D zone. Maybe there's just like less, emphasis on being that tight, But if, again, the Flyers are going to win some games, it has to be, ugly games, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not to say boring teams to death, but it's being hard to play against, being in position. If I know you got that stretch pass, and he's gonna find holes to for D-man and guys to find him.
He's playing really well.
You have to, I don't know, just when you talk about the Flyers and Torts' philosophy, the culture of Flyers, he's got to button up a little bit, as we talked about in it.
Yeah,
the rest will take care of itself. He's not that far off.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost he's so close to something so far away, but he's not that far off.
Right.
And he's smart enough, and he's competitive enough, and he wants this enough that he's going to, like he did, come back and shove it up everyone's ass. And, I know San Jose is not the greatest team in the world, but nonetheless, he come back and he proved his point and made his mark. And I like to think that he learns a valuable lesson out of it all.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
For sure. You brought up a good point there quickly, Fridge. Sam Ersson, is playing really well. I was a little worried when he went down, Kolosov,
because he was playing so well.
Playing well.
Weird. It was weird, man. It was a weird play too.
Yeah, it was just
the blade came off. I was like, I bet you he did like one of these stupid little tweaks or something.
Yep, 100%.
Blade wasn't there. He thought it was there. It's not.
You go to push and you can't. You're just going to slide. I mean, if we would have had him there, we could have diagnosed it right away. Everyone knows Riles is a doctor now, but that's a long story, Fridge. I'll tell you about it later. Everyone's heard about it enough on here. I just wanted to say, Ivan Fedotov stepped up huge And like I said, I thought he obviously had his best game as a Flyer, and hopefully he could build off that.
Yeah.
You obviously got 3 guys. I'm not sure if Kolosov, Baller, is he still up? Is he still up? So we have a 3-guy rotation right now, but I'm imagining Sam will play again tomorrow. I don't know that, but in Ottawa, you're going to beautiful Ottawa today. By the way, we appreciate you jumping in here with us. I forgot to say that. You guys are heading to Ottawa. Big game against Claude. Say hi to G and Big Mac and Ridley Greg. Go.
Gregor's boy.
Smack Gregor's. They used to pop.
He's a scrappy little player too.
He is a scrappy little guy. But
Gregor was a sneaky tough guy.
Yeah, he was actually. Gregor was. Mark Gregg. Mark Gregg chirped a lot too. He's kind of funny.
Scout now for the Blues.
Great scout. Does a great job. We got to get Ridley on. I know I keep saying, Baller, don't yell at me. I know. I've talked to him. He's going to come. It's just
send him a note.
The sketch, boys. It's not that easy, man.
The goaltending thing. Yeah, there's been 3 goalies here.
Yeah.
Kolosov came up. He did good. I like Kolosov's game too, right? It's different than Fedotov's. Fedotov he's real animated in his game, but he's, again, you can see coaching, man. Like you can see coaching in these guys. More so in the guys coming over from Europe, right? But his movements are starting to be more compact. And
that's the thing. Like
he's making saves. Like he did a great job on the shootout.
Right.
You know, just
he did.
Right.
He wasn't moving to. He's a big guy.
Yeah, man.
I think
that helps.
You don't have to play like you're 6'3" when you're 6'7" or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah.
But one of my buddies who's actually Elvis's coach, he coaches Stolar's, George Bozak. We talk about it all the time, and it's funny. Like he was showing me some stuff on his phone, but he looked very good against Tampa. I just thought he wasn't moving too much. Like I'm not gonna break it down, but I just thought he played well.
He works hard. The guys say that about him. He works hard in practice. He wants to get better, and that's. If you have those 2 elements,
exactly.
You're going to get better in the NHL. Kolosov came in; he did a good job too.
Yeah,
he reminds me of like a Bobrovsky. He likes to work. He's acrobatic. Like he likes to make the saves. He seems a little bit more in there. But Ersson, man, it's how the team plays in front of him.
Yeah.
Does he not? Hey, when
he's just calm.
He's very calm. I love I love his manner. Like everything he does on the ice, I love. But every time I'm watching him with that black cage and the 33, I think Bush is in there. And let's not bring up his pad combo. We said the other day. But I look at her and I'm like, Bush loves this guy because he looks like Bush, isn't that? But no, Urs is playing awesome. Yeah. He really is. And I heard he's just a great guy. I haven't really hung out with him or anything, but heard nothing but great things about him. Before we do move on, for something I know you want to talk about real quick, I have to bring up that tweet you put out about Malkin wanting to come to Philly to play with Matvei. Like, you're a blue chip guy on X, I should say.
What is this? What is it? Misinformation? What do they call it?
Disinformation?
Baller said he saw it. Fridge put it out there.
Malkin wants to come. I didn't put that out there. But that's a good rumor. That's a huge rumor, Mel.
That's a great rumor now.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Wait, he wants to play with Michkov, right?
Yeah.
Malkin and Michkov.
Yeah.
M&M line.
Spitting that out a lot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It could get tricky for Timmy. Malkin and Michkov.
Oh, Timmy Saunders. He's the best.
He is. He's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's the best. Yeah. He's a play-by-play guy with me, Timmy. Yeah. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah, everybody knows. We had Timmy on. Timmy's awesome.
Timmy Saunders,
Love
Bruce,
Timmy.
JJ.
Yeah, you got a solid crew.
The 4 pigeon, the pigeon crew. We just sit in the back.
Pigeon crew.
We don't say nothing. Yeah. Just sit in the back and stay quiet. Timmy, toe the line, toe company line.
Yeah. Timmy, the day we landed somewhere, he gave me a jersey to get signed, and he's like pulling it out of his bag. And there's 2 different buses, right? There's a media bus, and then there's the team bus. So they're packing the truck with the equipment, so he's like, can you get this jersey? He wanted me to give it to someone to get it signed. I'm like, yeah, of course. So I'm there, and he's like, unzipping his bag. All of a sudden, the little bus starts pulling away. This guy lost his mind. We talked about it when he's on the show. He had 2 Gatorade bottles, like the bigger ones he took off the plane. He looked like McNabb. He fired this thing about 30 yards, hit the bus. He throws another one just for the hell of it. And again, he was so mad because they were leaving.
That's hilarious.
Like, he was red as could be. He was so mad.
He's got a temper.
I know. Yeah. He said that. It was hilarious, though. But
give him candy to calm him down.
Yeah.
I love it. Fridge, we were talking about Mr. Hilferty, Dan Hilferty, good buddy of all of ours, on this Manifesto Health.
Yeah.
Touch on that for us a little bit. Cause
it's
really
it's
cool.
obviously Manifesto Health is actually the brainchild of Dan Hilferty Jr.
Yeah.
and a group of guys that he knew 5 or 6 years ago. They started something that was based in substance use disorder, right? And it was about trying to help. Like, that's the original ideal. They created an app. And basically what Manifesto is, it's subclinical care, right? And we work closely with EAPs. It's not an EAP, which is an employee assistance professional, but specific to substance use disorder, or it may be usually alcohol, opiates, and whatnot. And we work with patients after care, right? So when you're done treatment, you go away, or however that looks, we work with the unions and employers to be that, I guess, community through CPRSs, which is certified peer specialists, with people with lived experience, to basically integrate that person back into the workforce, but also back into communities with recovery-focused, I guess, lifestyles, right?
Right.
And there's so many of them now, right? But it's really about learning to live again without needing and requiring, the things that come with the substance that got you into the position that you're in. So it's a really good company. I mean, these guys are passionate about what they're doing. I'm lucky to be with them. I've obviously got my own experience in that space and in the industry as well. But Manifesto Health is subclinical peer coaching. We don't get involved in the care. We get involved with the patient when they're done care.
When they're done,
That's amazing.
Post-treatment.
Support service.
Yeah, they're doing good work, man. They're doing some good works. I mean, the numbers are staggering, just from some of the recidivism, and it's about 86% of people relapse in their first year after going to treatment, right? Yeah. You don't want that to happen. Right. Is it going to happen? Yeah, it's like learning to walk again. You're going to trip sometimes. Rather than going to treatment again, you have a team of guys like us with lived experience. We help pick you back up quickly, so you don't have to go to care again. Sometimes I think it's a 30% recidivism rate where those people are actually going back into care in that first year. So alleviating some of that. If you look at the numbers now, there's a lot of people that are affected with substance use disorder, mental health issues. So this is a proactive kind of preventative type of care to help people get to care and then help live their lives after, right?
Yeah.
And it's I'm happy to be associated with them. These guys know what they're doing. They're capturing the data the right way. They're doing the right things for people that need help.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Can you expand on that a little bit, just on the importance of community, tribe, connection,
right?
Even without the substance abuse world, right? The importance of it, just as human nature, but just on the back end of substance abuse detox programs and whatnot, like how important that is.
Well, I think just from my experience, like I'm not credentialed in any form of I just have the lived experience, and I have other diagnoses with mental health issues as well. So to speak is only coming from the experience, and it's the lack of connection is kind of the root cause for me to a lot of those issues. So it's one of the best things to help is find that connection again, right? Whether it initially be with yourself,
of course,
right, and then extend it to others too, and you find, I found that there's so much value in common bonds of suffering, and that's what there's a level of suffering that takes place with mental health issues, but it's a lack of connection. For me, and when I found other people that were going through similar stuff, it was powerful. It changed me and helped me change things about myself and how I approach life. So I think that having community after of people with lived experience will always be therapeutic for people that are coming back from this stuff, because it's how it works. There's safety in numbers. You know what I mean? And it's herd mentality, it's pack mentality. It doesn't alienate, it doesn't push others out. It's just you got to have respect for other people's struggles in life, and I think that
compassion for it, right?
Yeah, you have to have compassion and empathy, and there those things you don't necessarily pay attention to when you're not so right in your head. So, finding like-minded individuals after is key to long-term success in anything.
I agree.
You hang out with your people. It's old wisdom. You're a rich man if you have 5 people that you can call true friends in your life, and family is the only thing that you have at the end of the day. And that's just connections.
Yeah,
so
I
I think it's so important that you have people outside, that you find in life.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this segues nicely into the next little topic is the Philadelphia Flyers Warriors program, which is exactly that in some way, shape, or form, right? Is created this amazing Warriors program that does exactly that. It creates community, connection, team, and a place for guys to
Bill
be
Duffy,
vulnerable and all.
Man, I'm lightly involved, I'm because they're involved with the Flyers, right?
Yeah.
Brad Marsh he was the coach. He's the coach. He's involved with them too. He's obviously associated with the Flyers as the alumni president and stuff. And he kind of took them on. And I've been lucky enough to go to a couple practices, get to know these guys over the last 10 years since they've started working with us. And then they do so much in the community with us as well.
Yeah.
What was kind of a byproduct of that is that all of these guys that are part of the Warriors program, there's disability. They have all served time in the military. I think they've all either seen active duty. Yeah. I'm not sure about all of that, but what's happened is that the game of hockey, the community of hockey, the constant getting back in touch with each other, and then getting and preparing for a game, it's created some, if you're a part of it and you see it, it's a community of healing. Yeah. These guys like preparing. I don't know, it will probably equate to getting ready for battle.
Right.
I think they like the camaraderie of it. And then we have it in hockey within a team, but I mean, I know some of the things these guys have gone through, and this is for all people that have served in military in any branch, or even first responders. They see things that are different. Right. So see them bond and witness that stuff is what you see with that Warriors program, and then the growth and the attractiveness of it. It's 179 strong now.
Yeah, I know, it's wild, isn't it?
Crazy.
And it's families. Teams. It's not just some of these guys have never played before.
That's right.
It's families, and you see that. How healing it is to have them all together. They keep each other honest, keep each other in check. You're just, I don't feel small around much people, right? I'm a big boy. These guys, you feel small next to these people.
You're right. It's funny. I've been lucky enough to spend time with those guys, and we play golf. You played with us a little while back, but just from the day I met Duff and Dev and all these Foster, everybody, all the guys, not just those guys, but you're watching them and you see how passionate they are about hockey. Obviously they're not pros, but they take it seriously. And then you start thinking about, God, as you get to know them better, what some of the guys have been through, and you're just it's amazing. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I think I had a fucking bad day. Holy cow.
I know, right? Yeah.
And these guys went through shit, and it goes back to, you said, the help that all this stuff's given, and the help of being with a team, right? That's got to be huge. These guys
Safety
have days
numbers.
where they lean on each other a lot.
Yeah.
And they always have each other's back. Yeah. You always see that.
Well, it's good because the growth of it has actually gotten the attention of a lot of other franchises in the league, and a lot of other regions in the United States that are starting to develop. If it's not the Warriors team, if they're associated with an NHL club, it's the same type of model, right? Mm-hmm. It's utilizing the resources of marketing and stuff. But the growth of the Warriors program has gotten attention from the VA, right? So they're big enough now that they've started to, and you got to give credit to Duffy, Kevin Emor, the guys that are running this, the board of this group, that they've sought out, they've found ways to take money from the VA utilize it for their program to grow and help more and more people. So that's the best outcome of this, and partnered with NHL team as well.
Yeah.
Look, we want to recruit those guys. We don't want them by themselves. We don't want them, especially in this area.
Yeah.
You want those guys to come out. So whether you play hockey or not, come out. There's some guys. There was one Big Rig, they called him. I haven't seen him in a while, but this guy's 6'8". He's never been on skates before. And he got out there. But watching the guys support him, he's in his 30s. He's and he got better and better. We put him in front of the net. But that's the stuff. Watching these guys support him. Hockey's a hard sport, man. To learn at that old. The Warriors. You can't say enough about Flyers Warriors and that program. And I'm glad that we're, as an organization, the Philadelphia Flyers are as ingrained with first responders, and because that's our community, man. These guys are in our community, and that's who we want to be rubbing shoulders with.
That's right.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, it's amazing how the programs expand, not just in Philly, but like across the NHL and these different cities, right? It's just, it's catching fire for good reason.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a program. The irony of when guys leave the military, when guys retire from playing sports, the identity crisis that both groups kind of go through, and then that level of where's the community, where's the team, where are my people, and that next level of a lot of times isolation, right?
Yeah.
And they're dealing with their traumas, their issues, and they're unfortunately dealing it with unsustainable means, and it gets dark for both parties, right? A lot of similarities, but again, back to we were talking about with Manifesto, the Warriors, it's that connection, it's back to the team, back to the tribe, connection, right? And then it's
like reintegrating.
There's
that element too. There's Kevin Emore is doing some stuff. He's one of the guys that sits on the board with the alumni. He does some stuff on transitioning. I think he's building, I'm not sure what it's called. He's building a transition program, but he's mirroring it off of the NHL alumni and the NHLPA's transition programs.
Yeah.
And it's about education. It's about knowledge, getting the information out there, getting the body of people from each group, whether it be hockey players or veterans, all the knowledge and the resources that they have from the VA. Like, there is a lot of, I guess if you want to call it money or benefits that a lot of them aren't motivated to get into, because it's a lot of bureaucratic paperwork and stuff. But, having, guys like that involved where you can transition from combat into society. Yeah, there's a big element there that's associated between hockey players and athletes, or hockey players and military guys that we found with the Warriors. Kevin speaks to it all the time. Yeah, he's like, it's so similar, and I was like, similar because we're all lost. Yeah, like I've been for 10 years. You're telling me exactly what to do, and I'm going to over deliver on that. Yeah. But tell me what to do. Yeah. If you don't, I don't know what to do.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
that's hockey, right?
Yeah. It's very, very regimented. The schedule, right? You know exactly what to wear, where you got to go, all the stuff. Until you got to figure that out on your own. Yeah. So there's with no team, with no direction, right? It's like, holy shit! Like it's a wake up call. And guys really do struggle on both sides. I mean, and then it forces guys into isolation, but that's where they generally go because they don't know where to turn, right?
You don't know who you are.
You don't know who you are.
You've been in the limelight for 15 years, and then all of a sudden you're in the dark.
Out of sight, out of mind, and you got to recreate yourself, right? Redefine yourself and find new purpose, I guess, right?
The beauty is now that even with the alumni and the PA and in the NHL, there's more awareness to this stuff. Yeah. Our fraternities. Yeah. Have both lost guys recently. Yeah, Chris Simon. Sure. It's a tragic. You hear about these tragedies all the time. So, you got to be proactive about it. Engage, get up and out of any situation you're in. If you haven't talked to the old boys in a while, give them a buddy check. Yeah, reach out to them. You still have their numbers.
Look how good it made us feel just saying hey to Bugsy this morning. It was just fucking
exactly.
It was great. Yeah, and that's what people need.
Bugsy was was in my life at a special time, right, where it was only Bugsy. It wasn't a good time, but it was the right person at the right time for me to help me kind of correct some stuff. And however that happened is up to that's upstairs, man. Yeah. And I'll always remember Bugsy for that, and I hope he feels that same way about me too. I think he does.
I think so.
We have a smile You know, there's certain guys that you play with that I want to keep that special till I die.
Yeah.
Is the things that we did in the NHL to be remembered, right? Because it was cool, man. It was cool playing in the best. It's a dream to play in the best league in the world, man.
Yeah.
750 contracts. Well, there's more now with Utah.
Yeah,
No, there isn't actually. 750 contracts.
They were already.
Right? From a global pull. It's the whole world, man. So I'm super proud of playing the NHL, man. Like all of us should be.
No doubt.
And then taking care of the fraternity afterwards.
Well, that's it, right? Using the foundation, the platform to do good, right? And hope maybe, I don't want to say reform, but maybe, change the course of action for guys transitioning or for current players and the struggles that they may be going through, and maybe helping them avoid some of the pitfalls that a lot of guys get stuck in, right? As they get closer to the end of their careers and all that good stuff. But,
I will say this, and I gotta point it out. I D's nuts. Bugsy.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I got you, Bugsy. He tried to get me. Did you get that on? You probably didn't get that. I wish you were recording.
That was
I got him.
That was well.
Oh, the gala too. The Warriors
Gala.
Gala.
Ready to say.
Yeah.
I had to put out there. I D's nuts him.
Yeah, you did.
I had to. He tried to get me. I got
Bugsy
him.
gets
I turned
guys
it around
all the time. I can't believe you got him.
I know. Well, he should have
Right
known.
out-
He was
right
trying
after
to
he
get me,
turned-
and I turned around and that's why. Right now,
You're on fire.
listen, I'm on
Slapping
fire. I
your
got
face.
Bird Dog. Bird Dog was mad at me. Boy, I got him last year. He goes third and last time on Nasty Knuckles.
Thanks,
He said.
Nas. He's not coming back on.
He's not coming back on. But hey, one of the things we have a special guest coming in after Friggy here, Bill Duffy, who we were just talking about for the Warriors Gala this Friday night on Battleship, New Jersey. Friggy, you gonna be there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be dolled up.
Dress warm.
Oh, yeah, it's chilly.
Oh,
We
is
were
it
there last year.
outside?
Yeah, it's on the Battleship
on the-
New
it's
Jersey.
I know, but I
nasty.
didn't know if it was.
Well, there's a breeze.
Yo, they
There's
got a
breeze coming through
howitzer.
there.
They got a howitzer. I think it's a howitzer. Its gun is bigger than this house,
Oh my god.
and they blow it off. That's what they're telling me. That's how they got me to come.
They did it last year.
They
They did it last year, right?
Yeah, it's chilly in there. I was sitting right next to like the
Jeez, I'm
call
glad
it a
you
wall,
touched it.
but
I
there
wear
was
my
like a
mink.
breeze
Should I
coming
wear-
through the bottom.
should I wear my fur?
Yeah.
You wear your fur. Wear
Should
the
I
fur.
wear that
Oh, yeah,
jacket?
you get
I have to wear
Yo,
it.
they're getting
Possible
all
scarf.
dolled up in their uniform.
Yeah,
I
they
know,
looked good.
I
They
can't-
looked real good last
I was
year.
gonna say, I bet they look sharp, but
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
have Duff on to explain more about that. But can't wait to see you this
Yeah, we'll
Friday.
see you there.
Fresh off your Ottawa trip, hopefully bringing home a big W.
Yeah. Sold out too, the gala.
Yeah, the gala's sold out.
Yeah.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Did a hell of a job
Well, when you
last
got
year.
DJ Hollywood in
Well,
the
yeah,
house.
well, that's-
Is he coming?
He's coming.
Oh,
DJ
boy.
Hollywood.
Rocking
Sorry,
the boat.
DJ Danny, my boy. DJ Danny Del
When you got
Quattro.
Hollywood, it's
But,
leveling up the
yeah.
game for sure.
Yeah, for sure it is. So we'll talk about that with him.
Yep.
But Friggy, we thank you. We know you got to go catch a bird. Head to Ottawa.
Last seat
what
on
are
the
you gonna
plane.
do?
Yeah.
Got your winter coat.
Ottawa.
It's a joke.
I might go skate on the canal up
Yeah,
there.
there you go. There you go.
Say hi to G and
Yeah, and Big
Yeah.
Mac, and
Yep.
Ritter, Mark Gregg, son, Ridley. Sorry, spit it out. Easy for me to say. I call him Ritter, so Ridley's his name, obviously. But thank you, Fridge, for your time, man. We appreciate you, and keep putting those tweets out because guys are learning shit,
Bullshit. I
man.
didn't put that to
You got a blue chip, man. You gotta start
Yeah,
throwing
what-
stuff
it's a
out
check
there.
mark, isn't it?
It's whatever
the
it
old
is. I don't know.
Verification.
Yeah, you're verified.
He's verified. He's official
Definitely.
media.
Should be.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, appreciate you, Friggy.
Yeah, buddy.
Good seeing you guys.
Good seeing you too.
See you
Safe
around the
travels.
All right, Riggs, special guest jumping
Yes.
in after we just kicked Fridge out the door. He didn't want to tilly with me, so I said, you got to go.
Yeah,
I got
enough.
the real deal coming in today to talk about a special event this Friday. I call him the Duff Daddy.
He is that.
That's
He's
what
a Duff
I
Daddy.
mean. You go to bars, like, hey, you know the Duff Daddy, right? I'm like, hell yeah, I know him. Welcome to the show, the man, one of our really, really close friends, and so happy we got to know him over the last few years, Mr. Bill Duffy. What's up, Duff Daddy?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Of course,
this is great.
man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
brother.
Appreciate you.
I don't even know where to start with it, but I guess let's start from scratch here when the Warriors started. Like we talk a lot about you guys and posted things with you, done a lot of stuff with you, which we just love. But what a great group. But kind of like walk us through how this all got going.
Yeah, so it started back in 2018, early 2019. A guy named Rick Stabino, he wanted to do something for veterans, so he reached out to USA Hockey, and they said, oh, well, you can contact the Devils, Flyers, see if they're willing to help you start up a Warrior program. So he did that, and Rob Bear and Brad Marsh, they raised their hands and said, let's do something with this. And I started 3 months after they started actually officially practicing in 2019, and there was only like 33 of us at the time, so it was like a hodgepodge of guys, different skill levels. Like, we were just wearing whatever at practice. Now we've evolved into a professional organization.
You're the 33rd team in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, I mean, we got a budget that's probably better than some minor league programs right now. But yeah, I mean, it started from there. Brad and Rob, they took it upon themselves to say, let's try this out and see where it goes. And now we're probably one of the most successful programs in the U.S.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How about 175 players or so?
We're at 130, probably 133 now, somewhere around there. We just had 3 new guys show up last week.
Oh,
so
That's
like
amazing,
it's like every week a new guy or girl shows up, and somebody like messages you, and you're like, I don't even know who this is. Like there's so many people in the program, but it's a good thing because veterans are getting out there and they're around like-minded individuals, and that's what this is all about. It is about hockey to a sense, but it's really more than that. It's evolved into a large family. Mm-hmm. Guys go to the like other guys' kids' hockey games and stuff. We're supporting each other's kids now at sporting events. Like my daughter, when she was in high school, guys were showing up with fat heads and LFG Shaner signs and everything else. And she's like sitting on the bench like, no, take it down. But
at least they're supporting her. My dad shows up with "you can't play" or "retire" at my men's league games.
But it's awesome because now like guys, like their kids are getting older and starting to get into hockey. Like Richie's son Diener, great head of hair. Like he's ready to go. All he wants to do is play hockey. Like I'll be on the phone with him. He's like, I gotta go. Diener wants to go in the basement and play hockey again. So we get out there, support our other teammates' kids and stuff like that, which is huge. And it really is a family, and it's a lot of the stuff that we do off the ice as well in the community. So it's good.
You guys do so much, and I mean every time I like bring you guys up, like people are like, oh yeah, I know, but because it's grown, the membership, like you just said, it's incredible, man, and it's fun to see. Like Duff always has like us, like in the summer, you probably do it more than once, but I've been over a few times. Like he has a get together. You're gonna have to move into a mansion with all these 100 and some players now. Like you're gonna tell Mama we're gonna have to get a mansion now.
Yeah, she's gonna get a raise.
No, but it is awesome. And I remember when you guys first started, like having that first camp, and then this year, I went over the one day. I can't remember why. I think it was to take someone some sticks. But, this was like a real... You have so many players. Like, this whole camp, I got Kobe Cohen up top yelling down at me. Like, I mean, it felt like a real training camp. And it really is what you guys went through.
Yeah, and we do that to validate the player selections by the coaches. So, guys get better. We get better players. Guys move down. Like it's really like a legit organization. And like Brad and Rob Bear, and now Colby, Jeff Frankel.
Yeah, Frankie.
God rest his soul, Tony, who was with us all summer, helping us with our skills development and stuff like that. But like we want to give a better product, not only for the coaches, but for ourselves. So that's why we brought guys like that in to either maintain, hone our skills, get better. Because we got guys that never played hockey before that, that now are moving up because they're gotten so much better. Like guys couldn't even skate before.
Right.
So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you mentioned like the family component, and we were talking about this with Friggy before you hopped on, just around the importance of the community, the tribe, the family. Like you guys leave the military, which is essentially a team, right? And you come back home and feel like you're on your own a lot of times. Like, can you just speak to like the importance of that and just like how meaningful it is to have a support system that when you feel like you actually cared about and, being listened to versus, being isolated and on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I'll give you an example. When I got out, my buddy told me when I retired, he was like, you're going to go through a phase where you're going to be like, what do I do? And you're going to get a little bit depressed, and then like it might take 2 weeks and make 2 months, but you'll snap out of it and you'll be like, okay, I'm back. Like, but it's a real thing. So, and it's not just military members as well, but like I talked to Joe Watson when he retired.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said, Joe, I was like, I'm going to warn you, like, you've been doing this for 50 plus years.
Yep.
You're going to be like, what the hell do I do? So, we did a nice tribute to him. We had the alumni game, Joe Watson weekend,
that
and
was
all that
awesome.
stuff. It was awesome. And he came up to me and he wrote me a letter too, which was, I thought, phenomenal, because nobody does that anymore.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
writes letters.
That's old school.
Yeah, but he wrote a letter and he was like thanking for the warning, because he's like, you know what, you were right. And he's like, but I'm good now. And then he started the whole book thing, and
Yeah.
which is a great book. If you haven't gotten it, it's great. Or I've read it, but yeah, it's a true thing. Like, you lose that camaraderie, guys that you see every day, putting on the boots, putting on the uniform, wearing that uniform with pride goes away, and then you're left kind of like, okay, you did your time, you're out. Now what? But that's what the Warriors does for everybody. You're not only playing for each other, but for people that can't be there anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's guys and girls that have been through a lot in their military career, but when they show up on Sundays, every Sunday we have practice. We have 2 practices, and they know they're there. They have somebody to hang out with. The smiles on their faces when they come in. They, beating each other up verbally in the locker room,
Yeah.
making fun of each other and stuff like that. That's what the military was,
That's right, yeah.
And that locker room, like you guys both know, it's like a church, That's a sacred place, being in the locker room
Yeah.
with the guys, So it's the same thing with us, and even outside of work or outside of hockey, and work, we get together now. It's like we've gained so many friends amongst each other, like. We're together 24/7. Like, we're always doing stuff together. And we never had that before.
Yeah.
Right.
I have friends that I grew up with and stuff like that, which is great, but these are different. These are a special kind of friends.
Yeah.
The guys and girls in this program, and even Brad and Rob Bear and Turk, who does an amazing job, and your dad, who helps out a lot. Like, they need this program just as much as we do.
course.
They love it.
Yeah.
That's why they're all in on it.
Yep.
So, it's great.
Yeah.
It's true. Even, you guys are at a much higher level than any athlete, people like what you did, for your country and for all of us. But even like a guy like me, we've talked about this before, like I did that for almost, 27 years, man. I didn't know what a shitter on my watch, you get in that spot. And I can't imagine if I never had to do anything close to what you guys have done for us, but I could just imagine that feeling. Like, we've talked about it too, just being a player, a hockey player, like you got to figure things out.
Right, that identity crisis. We talked about this for Friggy too. Just like you embody something for a long period of time, military, sports, and then it's over, and it's kind of like, now what? Right? It's like, where do I put my energy? Where is that discipline going to go? And if you don't have anything lined up, right? I mean, it can get hairy pretty quickly, right? Finding who you are and finding a new purpose, redefining yourself isn't an easy thing to do.
No.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Or a job when you get out.
Yeah, a job, right. Yeah. It's just
So a lot of
basic
guys
survival,
get out and
right?
they're like, all right, now what do I do? Like,
Right.
if you don't have something lined up, you're like kind of in that rut right off the bat,
Right.
And that's what we try to do also. We help guys, jobs, behavioral health, help them get an increase in their disability rating if they, because that's what this program is, a minimum of a 10% disability. This is a disabled program. Like, it's not just a men's league team,
Right.
So, we do play some men's league teams, but that's only for us to get some games in until we have tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of moving parts when you get out of the military that you don't realize. You're like, oh man, now what? Where am I living? Where am I doing? What, where am I putting my kids in school? Am I staying here? Am I moving back home? Like, luckily for me, I got stationed back here in New Jersey. So, the house I'm in now, I used to just travel up to McGuire every day, so, but I was lucky to get stationed back home. It was a godsend for me. So, but it was good.
It's great. Talk about Friday night.
Yeah.
Big gala.
Yeah. The second annual
Yes.
Warrior Gala on the Battleship, New Jersey. It's going to be amazing. Last year, it was there's there's a couple trial and error things, but nobody really noticed it, but we did. And, the wheels get turning, like, how can we make this better? So this year we got a lot of cool things lined up. We have a new award this year, the Tony Vos Award for the most improved player.
That is awesome.
So, so somebody will be getting an award. I obviously can't say who because nobody even has any idea that this is a thing. But
not in the running now.
But and then obviously we have the Brad Marsh Award, which is volunteer service, like somebody that's volunteered their time to help better the betterment of the program. Last year it was Bernadette Blackstock, who amazing lady, goes out of her way to help every Warrior for free get an increase in their disability ratings, anything else they need that they are eligible for under the VA. She's the one that submits all the paperwork, does all the back, makes the guys do some of the work. Obviously, she's like, you guys got to do your homework if you want this. But she has helped so many guys and girls in this program. It's unbelievable. Life-changing stuff. Like, when you get a VA rating, it's one thing, but if you get 100%, your life changes. Like, it's a lot of money. Like, for me, I'm 100%. I don't pay taxes on my house anymore. Like, that's crazy. In New Jersey, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's
and that's the kind of stuff that happens for some of these guys. And it's like, oh, my God, now what do I do? And a lot of the guys, and I give them a lot of credit for this, they donate back to Bernadette's.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's great.
Like, they get back paid for whatever their rating is, and they cut her a check. Like,
amazing.
Here, put this toward, because she has a veteran housing over in Mantua for disabled veterans that they can live in. They're displaced or don't have a place to live. It's condos that she puts them in, and they earn their keep by maintenance of the facilities and all that stuff. So,
That's awesome.
Wonderful lady. She does a lot for us. But this year, we're moving on to a new awardee, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was there last year, and it's hard to believe you guys are upgrading last year's. I thought it was great. I didn't see the kinks you're talking about. I thought it was pretty well-oiled machine there, but obviously you can always improve anything, right? So,
our silent auction is online now. You can actually go on and start bidding right
great.
now.
Oh, okay.
If you can't make it, you can still bid on the silent auction.
Oh, great.
We have Robert O'Neill stuff. If you don't know who Robert O'Neill is, he was the Navy SEAL that shot Bin Laden.
Oh, okay.
So we actually have a Phillies jersey with the date, because it was announced during the Phillies game. Everybody's chanting USA. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was back in 2011. So he actually signed a Phillies jersey with the date on the back. All kinds of cool stuff. Like, it's really military-oriented event. We got guys and girls. I was kind of telling Riley and Fridge beforehand, like, guys cutting weight to get back into their uniform.
Suit,
you get the picture, you get the text message like, I don't know if this is gonna fit, guys. Like,
guy in a little coat.
Guys like Richie, he cut some weight. He's gonna be in full Marine Corps dress uniform. I'm super pumped to see that. And we got a lot of guys that like have been through some stuff, and like Nick Santoro, Purple Heart recipient. Wow. Marine Corps. He was in Ramadi and Fallujah and stuff like that. But, it's a really cool event. Last year we had Melissa Stockwell. She's in the Paralympics. So she was there last year. All our partners and people and our sponsors will be there. Toyota, who does an amazing job with veterans. They sponsor us every year, the patches on the jersey. Yep. But the Toyota Group and Saatchi & Saatchi, great people. We do a lot of work hand in hand with them. Obviously, the alumni are number one sponsor, which, they changed our whole program with one donation a couple of years back, and it's exploded into what we got going on right now. So if it wasn't for the alumni, and we wouldn't be where we're at today. So we're very appreciative of that. So, and they will be there. We have Dave Schultz coming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Riles, obviously.
Yeah,
Fridge.
Riles.
Nasty's coming.
Nasty.
Well, I saw the special guest. I said, Riggs, are they talking about you? Like, what are we?
Yeah, well, we gotta have Riggs back.
Riggs out on the D4.
Oh, yeah.
Big supporter of us. So,
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Brad, of course, Bob the Hound Kelly.
Yep.
Friggy will be there.
Lou Nolan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Lou. Good.
Yep. Lou will be there, who's a Marine veteran.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know
I
that.
didn't know that,
A lot of
Yep.
people don't know that. That's
Yep.
why he
He
asked
is-
for the camo Nasty Knuckles hat.
Yep.
wow, that makes
yep.
sense,
And he
yeah.
always says Semper Fi during the Flyers games. He's a Marine.
Yeah.
So, we're super proud to have him part of our program. We gave him a number 50 jersey back when he did his 50 years.
That's right.
Yep. So he has a
That's
Warrior
awesome.
jersey now, and he wears it every military appreciation.
Rose, you must not be cool enough to get one of these.
Well, yeah,
You only ask for yourself.
I was gonna say you're not sharing, dude.
Well, you gotta fucking throw that out there, Duff Daddy. He could have put the Warriors jersey on there. I got Duff's jersey
You
on
got
there.
Richie's
well,
jersey over there.
Yeah, well, representing in my heart now.
I know you are.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a great night, and we've talked about it the last few weeks on the show. DJ Hollywood's going to be in the house. I don't know if you know
Hollywood.
that.
DJ
Oh,
Hollywood and his counterpart,
Okay.
will be in the house.
Love it.
Oh, this is a sold out event, by the way.
Yes,
It's
sold out.
sold out.
It's amazing.
It's gonna
Which
be
is crazy.
unbelievable.
We were like, we got to shut it down. We're
Shut her
going
down.
to go over the numbers.
Yeah, that's great. Great problem to have.
awesome.
Yeah.
How can people support the program outside of the gala? I mean, you said the online donations, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
Anything else coming up that we can support?
Yeah, absolutely. We have Toys for Tots coming up on December 10th at the
Nice.
New Balance store in Mount Laurel. Jeff Rabinowitz, who's a big supporter of our program, he owns the New Balance store over there, and we do a big Phil Abundance / Toys for Tots. Last year, I think we had 1,500 toys.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Amazing.
Like the whole back of the store was piled up with cars and like bikes, everything. It was great. So we have that going on December 10th. If you want to support the Flyers Warriors directly and donate, you can just go to flyerswarriors.com. There's a donate button. It's right on the page as soon as you click on it. So, and you can donate whatever you want, $5, $10, whatever you feel is necessary. We appreciate everything we get. We are a self-funded organization, nonprofit. So, we work hard for what we do.
Yeah,
and then we have Warrior Nationals in April.
In April. I was getting ready to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost to Colorado in the national championship last year, or this past year, or whatever you want to call it. But our elite team and then our tier 2 team played both Colorado teams in the finals. So they're such a good program too. They got some really good players. Now they're getting like Air Force Academy guys. And, but we got our own academy guys too.
Yeah.
We
You
got
guys
Kevin
have a really
Emor.
good team. Yeah.
Played at West Point. We got Naval Academy guys, Galanos.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, right.
All that stuff. So yeah, we got some really good players in our program as well. So
Nice. If you're looking to fire up any preseason games for the national tournament, we could set some up
talking
again.
another
Maybe we can
rematch?
come in.
You didn't say something about that. I told the boys
do
Sunday
it.
night, you weren't there. Imagine that. Ryle's not there for another men's league game.
Well,
So I don't know if he'll show up if we get to play you guys, but we'll put it together.
I'll make a point
We'll
of coming
do
to a
so- you'll
preseason
make-
game against the Warriors.
I know you would.
Well,
I know you
of
would.
course.
yeah, so we're looking at a
do it up.
rematch, huh?
No.
Rematch.
Oh boy.
Do it at Wells Fargo. Bright lights.
Bright lights.
See the puck a little
Probably
better.
be packed in there. Go
Nasty
live.
will stack his team.
Oh
again.
my
It's-
God. Boys.
Wants to beat up on disabled veterans. I see how it is.
Listen, I didn't do anything. If
I
you
see
saw
how it
any
is,
of that
Ness.
game, if you saw any of that game, I didn't do anything except for Dev. Dev tried to break my Tovey stick. He slashed me like 3 times. I kept looking at him. What are you doing? Hit me, don't break my stick, man.
break it.
Oh, man.
I want to bring up something you represented the country this year. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. So
Somebody was the MVP. I don't know who it was, but tell us a little bit about that.
yeah,
Baller, I
so-
sent you that picture. You fire it up.
So myself, Phil Foster, and Dave Naraki were selected from the Philly team to represent the U.S. over in Denmark in a national tournament. We played few teams from Denmark, one from Germany, and it was also during the Olympic qualifiers, which was
Right.
really cool. So we got to see Denmark, Norway, Japan, and Great Britain were the 4 teams at the Olympic qualifiers there. So
That's awesome.
That's
it was
really
it was
cool.
really cool. It was a great time. The Operators Hockey Club is the name of the veteran organization that has it's like their version of a Warrior team over there in Denmark, and they did an unbelievable job hosting us. Somewhere in there we played hockey, but we were doing airplane rides. We were touring World War II German bunkers on the coastline. God, what else did we? Free tickets to the game. Like we got Denmark jerseys and tickets to the game.
Wow,
super cool.
But it was a great time to get all the guys from different Warrior programs together, kind of like the NHL when teams represent USA, Finland, whatever. Same type of thing. Guys that you like battle against out on the ice, they get in Warrior tournaments or whatever else. Now you hang out like your best friends. It's crazy how, that's how it works in the hockey community.
Yeah,
Riley, as well as anybody, you're beating somebody's face and then the next day you're having a beer with them or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with us, with the Warriors. And like, we had a great time, built a lot of camaraderie with not only, other Warrior programs, but internationally.
Yeah.
Like all these guys that over in Denmark and girls, there's girls that play too. We shot guns from World War II. We had like a shooting competition against like the Danes and everybody else, and you know who won. Everybody makes fun of the Air Force, but I just keep winning, man. Yeah. But it was a good time. It was awesome. We won the tournament. We went 5-1 overall. I didn't lose a game. The games I played in, and somehow I got the MVP helmet. It was cool.
Awesome, man.
I was super pumped about that.
Awesome.
I didn't expect it. The people more deserving, everybody should have got one in my eyes. But it was such a great time. Apparently they love hot dogs over there. There's in Denmark there's hot dog stands everywhere. It's
really?
wild.
Same show? Yeah. Right.
So and you can buy a 6-pack of beer at the games. That you can't do that at Wells Fargo.
No.
You can only get 2.
That's leveling up.
That's wild.
Shouldn't be allowed in Philly.
Guys,
6-pack showed up in your
guys figured
seat.
that. They were walking around. Who needs a beer? Who needs a beer? It's like, holy crap,
awesome.
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
But it was
man.
a great time to play over there internationally. I have before. When I was over in Europe, I played in England and Ireland and Germany. So, but it was good for guys that have never experienced it to get over there and get a fresh experience with something like that. And then we exchanged jerseys at the end of the tournament. So, cool. We got guys that were like, hey, can I get another jersey now that I gave mine away? Yeah. So I got to get that going too after I get through this week. But yeah, it was a great event. The jersey exchange is really cool because I get pictures all the time. Oh, my jersey looks so good, Duff, in my office. Because some of those guys are still in the military over there. They have to do. Oh, wow. They don't get retirement like we do. They get like, they have to do like 30 years to get a retirement.
Wow, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, why do they want old soldiers? We don't understand why we have to wait so long.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know, man.
Hoping they die off or something, right? 30 years.
It's funny. His jersey. I think what a lot of guys wanted your jersey. It says Duff Daddy. Like his name tag was that. He's like, why the hell are you calling me Duff Daddy?
Wesley hates it. I love it.
She told me that.
She's like, why do you call him that?
Why are you calling him that? I was like, I just call him that. I call him the Duff Daddy.
I would before I forget, I just want to say that like we talk about the hockey program and there are guys and girls in it, but the wives that support the program and do all the stuff behind the scenes, it's phenomenal. Like the wives do the Christmas party. Like this year, the Asciutos are doing the Christmas party, stuff like that. But if it wasn't for the wives that are involved in the program, and they have their own wives group, and they get together, talk about us good, bad, or indifferent, which is great. But we wouldn't be where we're at in this program without them as well. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, super important to acknowledge them.
Yeah,
keeping that family unit
so we're
going
allowed
strong.
to go to practice.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The green light for
Why are you
Pracky.
guys practicing 3 days a week now?
Yeah,
but we do have childcare, so our guys and girls can make practice
that's
too.
awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
So and the team pays for the babysitters to be there so they can attend practice.
That's super
So
cool.
there's not an excuse.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
So it's just good.
Great
That's
stuff.
great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm fired up for Friday night.
excited.
The Warriors
Awesome.
Gala.
Bring your dancing
Battleship,
shoes,
New
Nas.
Jersey.
Dancing
I might
shoes.
wear. You know what I might bring back? My old Converse that you got me.
Oh yeah.
Patent leather, black patent leather.
You probably haven't worn them since I gave them to you.
I have actually worn them
yeah?
twice.
They're pretty rad. So
They are.
rock
They
'em.
look brand new.
I'll find mine and rock them too.
You gonna rock them?
if I can find them.
You can't rock. He's on a fasting thing for a few days. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
again.
I showed Leslie last night. I was like, "Oh man, I don't know what happened." Like,
Button your
it's a
pants,
little-
for God's sake! You gotta
Yeah.
eat.
I might have to like duct tape the fat back a little bit or something. I don't know, man.
I'm right there with
But
you. brother.
it's good. I can't wait to. I love seeing the guys in uniform. They get them
Yeah.
back out and dust them off, and
That's
It's
awesome.
it's an impressive sight, Riley. You saw
Yeah,
last
it
year
was-
the
it
amount
was
of guys
impressive.
and girls that were in uniform. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, man,
cool.
this
Yeah.
is badass.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
that's
It
for
was
sure.
badass.
Yeah.
what-
Oh, and we're doing the raffle. Somebody gets to shoot the cannon
Oh
on
yeah.
the battleship.
Nice.
So
you
better
bring,
enter.
You better
Yeah.
bring your earplugs.
it's loud.
It's
Yeah.
loud.
Joe Watson was there during.
Jesus
the city's under attack. Jesus Christ! Ah! He's like yelling,
Baba Louie, Baba
Baba
Louie,
Louie,
whatever he calls his
Jesus
beers.
Christ, we're under attack.
How many Baba Louis did he have in him?
Oh,
he got a couple in him.
he gets going. It's the funniest thing ever. Oh my
I
God,
love
I
it.
cry laughing with that guy.
he's
Yeah,
He's an
he's
amazing man. He
He's
does a great
beautiful,
job.
Beautiful man. All right, bro. We appreciate you and cannot wait for this Friday night.
Yeah,
man.
looking forward
you
to it.
guys are awesome, and love all you guys, man.
Rematch.
We'll
do
do it.
it.
We'll do that.
We'll
We
set
can-
it up.
tuned.
We'll
we
set
can
it
do
up.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Everybody's just on their
Yeah,
internet.
right.
You know they are.
All right, brother. We
Thank you
appreciate
guys.
you.
I
Next time.
appreciate you
man.
having me on. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Of course.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
support.
Big thank you to our guests today.
Yes.
Hopping on the fridge, Bill Duffy,
Duff Daddy.
Duff Daddy. Looking forward to seeing them Friday night at the gala.
I can't wait to see you all trimmed up, cleaned up,
Oh, yeah.
looking good. Not so primal in your suit, are you?
Probably get a high and tight, shave the beard.
You should go back to the cruising.
Back to
remember when you had the
cruising. Oh, yeah.
cruising?
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
Oh
might
man, but
have
you,
to.
you know what time it is now?
I think I do. Remind me.
It's time for Clear Questions.
Oh yeah.
Brought to you by Klyr Rum. Go to klyrrum.com/shop. Put in Nasty 2023 and get 35% off of your order. PA residents only. I wonder if we're going to have any Clear at the gala. I'm going to have to bring my own if there's not any.
Bring a flask.
I might have to. Baller, what do you got, bro?
What's up, boys? We got 3 clear questions today. This one's from Brett215 over on Twitter. Is Frost just not strong enough to play in the NHL? And should the Flyers move on from him?
Okay. He's strong enough.
Yeah, he's
for
strong enough.
sure.
He's strong enough.
He's strong enough. Thanks for the question. It's not a bad question, but yes, he is strong. He's strong enough.
See the pins on that guy?
That guy's
They're
got
not
his
pins.
way. He's a strong human being, strong individual. But I definitely don't want to move on from him. He's one of my. I really think he's got a lot more in his game,
I think so
and I
too,
think
yeah.
he's been a bit snake bitten. But I really like his game. That's me, man.
Yeah, I think you got to give him a little bit more time, because I think he's just like any skilled guy. He's a really skilled guy.
Yes,
I think he
very
really hasn't
skilled.
even fully blossomed yet. So
Right.
I know there's always the argument around like how long do you wait, or
Yeah.
how long do we give the guy? But I still think he's got more. To your point, I think maybe if he squeezes in 1 or 2 more, he's getting those chances around the
Yeah.
net. He's good around the net. But I mean, yes, his production needs to increase. I think it's maybe a confidence issue. I like to think if he can, break through a little bit, that the game will open up for him. 'Cause
Right.
there's not many guys that can do what he can do, skill wise, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
it's like so.
He
He's
works
strong enough.
too.
Yeah, he works. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely strong enough.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
What did you
Thank-
guys think about him being healthy scratched last game against the Sharks? And reading Jordan Hall's tweets from practice today, it looks like he's going to be healthy scratched again.
Well, I'm a Frost guy, so I don't like it at all. I don't
Yeah.
like it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean,
But you won Monday.
won.
Like that happens.
keep
with
it
coaches.
keep it the same, and there's probably 2 or 3 guys that are fall into that category of the guy getting pulled out, right? And I think maybe right now he is that guy until he maybe levels up a little bit, and then makes it harder for Torts to take him out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this one is from RJ Smiley over on Twitter.
Smiles.
Best spot to hit up before going to the Farg and best spot to celebrate a win.
Where do you go before and us? Tailgate?
Well, I mean,
H-lot?
we've had a lot of fun tailgating. Man, that's a good question. I don't
Is it
know.
Chickies or what?
I guess Chickies. You're close by. I guess that's one of the closest places. Chicky and Pete's. Xfinity is obviously right there as well, with a ton of places to go. And I would say Xfinity's there after the game too.
They're both right there.
Yeah, we know where we used to go. McDaniel's.
McDaniel's a little further down Broad Street.
A little further down, but
Chickies also. I spent a little time.
Chickies. Yeah, we did. We get
a little seafood soup.
Yeah.
A little mini lobster tails.
Oh,
No?
yeah, I guess.
What did you get? A little cheese
You were
fries?
eating a lot.
A little cheese fries?
You were eating a lot when you were
I was
playing.
eating for two.
You had to.
I
Yeah,
was
you
eating
had
for
to.
two, yeah.
But yeah, that's a good call. Like Chicken Pete's, we spent a lot of time in there.
We did, yeah.
We did.
Chicky sounds good right now. All right, we got one more. This is from Fishazo19 over on Twitter. Thoughts on Kolosov and Fedotov? Who gets to stay? And if you think Ersson gets traded to a contender this season?
I don't see them trading Sam.
No.
I don't know how you could.
Well, certainly not right now. I mean, if something drastically changes by trade deadline, I don't know. But I can't see it. No, I mean.
Even if, we're not even in the mix by then, I don't think you can get rid of him.
No, I don't think so either.
He's a pretty damn good goalie.
But the price is right, anything's for sale now.
Well, I guess so, but you have to think about that as you're rebuilding.
Yeah, of
and
course.
we talk about patience and stuff.
You need
but
consistency in the pipes.
you need it,
Yeah.
or it could get real ugly.
No, I've seen it.
I think we talked about earlier, I thought Ivan Fedotov played really well in Tampa. It looked like he just kind of, I don't know what's the word, simplified his game in that, just big and was in the way.
Yeah.
And that's the way he should. And I haven't had a problem with Kolosov yet. I mean, he looks like a pretty good goalie. I like the way he moves.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad thing, but I wouldn't get rid of any of them yet, but especially Sam.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's proven he's their
I agree with
number
that.
one.
He's definitely the number one. I think the other two are still kind of,
Yeah,
I
fighting.
don't want to say jockeying for position there.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of like that.
Right.
Maybe Fedotov is slotted as two now, but I don't think that's certainly not concrete. You know how it goes, right?
Right.
You're 1 or 2 games away from, from not being there too,
Yeah.
right? But I think it's a good problem to have, right? I mean, some healthy competition there. It'll shake itself out.
Yeah, it
always
will.
does.
Great question.
All right, Nas, that's a wrap. Until next week for 170. No, next week for 180.
180.
Oh, how quickly I forget.
Getting up there.
Well, appreciate you guys all. Be sure to keep these questions coming, clear questions. Anything you guys need to ask, subscribe, like, comment. Until next week, stay safe, knuckleheads.
See ya.